Well, also in the occupied West Bank, Israel's military says it will demolish dozens of Palestinian homes as it widens its large-scale operation. 23 Palestinian families were allowed into the Jenin refugee camp to collect some personal items. That's before their homes were razed to the ground. In the coming days, it's not the first planned demolition to empty the refugee camps in the West Bank. More than 700 houses have been destroyed since January. And around 47 Israeli raids in the Palestinian territory are being reported every day. Jenin and Tulkarem have been hit by airstrikes, and the city of Tubas has been under siege for the past 2 days. The northern West Bank has been particularly hard hit. Around 32,000 have been forced from their homes since January. Israel's prevented them from returning, and the death toll has been steadily rising. More than 1,000 Palestinians have been killed by the Israeli army and settlers since the Gaza war began on October the 7th, 2023. Well, I'm joined by Mustafa Barghouti, who's the Secretary-General of the Palestinian National Initiative and a former Palestinian Information Minister who joins me live from Ramallah. A very warm welcome to you, Mustafa. So this footage is shocking, as well as being hugely brazen, isn't it? I mean, what were your first thoughts when you saw the extrajudicial killing of these two men, all in front of TV cameras and witnesses?
I was shocked, and as many people would be when they see this terrible footage, because what you see here is two innocent people surrendering to the Israeli army. As you said, their hands are up, they exposed their bodies, and then the soldiers ordered them to lay down and then shot them in front of the cameras. This is a field execution. This was not only an extrajudicial killing, but it's a behavior that revealed what actually the Israeli army did before in Gaza and in the West Bank, where they conduct field execution just around the clock. And I suspect that hundreds, if not thousands, of Gazans have been executed in the same manner by the Israeli army. This is a war on occupied people, a war on civilians. There is no army in the West Bank. There is no justification. There are no justifications for these military operations. Israel is not fighting with anybody. They are just conducting attacks on civilian population.
And on that point, Israel says it's investigating the footage. I mean, from your experience, what do you suspect the response will be?
Nothing. They will claim that these were terrorists. They will try to dehumanize them. They will claim that the Israeli soldiers were a threat, and they will just bring any excuses. Did they ever really persecute any Israeli officer or soldier in truth? Did they ever punish them? Did they ever change their policies? On the contrary. The other day we've seen in one of the courts how the soldiers who executed rape of a man in front of the cameras too were praised by the Israeli army and were praised by the Israeli public. What we see here is something very dangerous. This is a shift to fascism, more than just aggressive behavior. It's a fascist behavior that was allowed to be in front of the cameras and without Western governments who continue to supply Israel with weapons doing anything about it.
Mr. Barghouti, on that point of Western government support, this comes in spite of international assurances from the United States and others following the Gaza peace plan that Israel will not be allowed to annex the occupied West Bank. But it hasn't stopped Israel from using, at best, aggressive, at worst, criminal tactics from being used against Palestinians.
Absolutely. There is a verbal objection to annexation, but they are practically allowing annexation. Because what do you call all these settlers, terrorist attacks on Palestinian communities? On average, every day, we have 8 settler terrorist attacks under the protection of the Israeli army. We have Israel confiscating in the last 2 years at least 16% of the West Bank, in addition to 16 other percent that is besieged by the Israeli apartheid wall. They have created 22 new illegal settlements and 111 settlement outposts. And they have evicted already 60 Palestinian communities from their land. The annexation is happening. If the United States of America and Europe was sincere about opposing what Israel is doing and the annexation, they should have imposed sanctions on Israel. They should have imposed sanctions till Israel stops settlement activities. They should impose sanctions till Israel stops these terrorist Israeli groups. They should impose sanctions till Israel stops its military operations in the West Bank and in Gaza. And they should impose sanctions on Israel to respect the ceasefire, which is not respected in Gaza, and Israel is continuing the war. I don't believe all these verbal condemnations because they mean nothing if they are not accompanied with imposing sanctions on Israel. That's the only language that the Israelis would understand to stop this terrible destruction of any potential for peace, any potential for a solution, any potential for the Palestinian people to survive.
Mustafa Barghouti, Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative, many thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Don't miss out and get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.